Hello, my name is Andy and I am the Village Idiot. I'm armed with a car and a GoPro and an unhealthy amount of time on my hands. I'm using that time to attempt to visit every civil parish in England. You're watching the Ryedale series, 115 parishes covering a huge area of North Yorkshire between York and Scarborough. It's a beautiful area, so let's have a look at it. Hello folks, welcome back to Ryedale for the first time in a long time. I've only done 3 of these up to now. Well, today I'm going to knock another 5 off the Ryedale list, 115 in total. So let's start this series moving. Now, I'm beginning this one on a dead-end road. It's a very nice, fresh, bright, crisp morning with no rain in the air. Beautiful. Ryedale's going to look great today. This is the parish of Whitwell on the Hill. Here's my disclaimer for people who may be watching me for the first time. I say things as I would in my native accent and dialect. As a result, I may not pronounce things in the same way as the locals do. Remember, I'm a visitor. It's impossible to know everything. Leave me a comment, spin me a like and bash that subscribe button. Let's get to today's parish video. Whitwell on the Hill, Whitewell on a hill. Hello Ryedale, it's been a wee while. In fact, it's been so long since I've been here that since I last graced these parts, Ryedale has in fact been abolished. The series will continue though, because it's already been started. Today we have the parish of Whitwell on the Hill, and as the name suggests, this does indeed sit on an elevated piece of land. Mind you, the hill in question isn't exactly steep. For the vast majority of this short walk around the place, I barely broke sweat, because it's generally flat. Whitwell, whose name means White Well, is within earshot of a major dual carriageway, a busy section of the noisy A64. It is, though, far enough away from that road for the commotion not to be noticeable. At one time, the main road ran right through the place, but now the A64 renders the old village street fairly insignificant. You have to say it's an attractive one. Whitwell is a 2-street village with a plentiful and pleasing number of old stone cottages. It has a limited number of features, but there is a big church, an old school and a manhouse, which all grab my attention. There's also an irregularly shaped cricket ground at the far end of the narrow main street. And the ancient well? Yep, that still exists too. So, shall we get moving and have a look? You know the answer to that by now. We start on Main Street at the Cricket Club, the penultimate landmark on what is a dead-end road. The ground, home to Whitwell Cricket Club, is quite the odd shape, and its pavilion, a wooden hut acquired from a local tennis club in 1950, is barely big enough to swing a cat. It's a proper, old-fashioned cricket ground. The gates and the private road next door belong to Whitwell Hall, a Gothic stone mansion with some fine views of the surrounding countryside. It was once the property of Sir Edmund Arthur Leckmere of Worcestershire. He was lord of the manor here and also the sole landowner. On Tout Hill we find the church, and here's its lit gate. This one, with a tall spire reaching high into the clear early morning Yorkshire skies, is dedicated to St John the Evangelist. It was designed by one of the channel's favourite architects, a certain G.E. Street, and it was financed by the Lechmere family. It was built in 1860 and it's primarily a stone structure with a chancel, a nave, a south porch and a spired tower which has 6 bells. The clock installed in 1891 is notable too because it's a memorial to Egerton and Laura Harcourt. Their sister Charlotte once lived at Whitwell Hall. Other memorials here include a mural tablet dedicated to Sir Edmund Lechmere and a brass to the Earl of Liverpool who died in 1907. In the churchyard is a cross. My first thought was a war memorial, but it's not. That is a tablet and it's actually inside the church. On the road nearby is the old schoolhouse, the house on the left of this pair. The school itself is just north of the church and we'll catch that in a bit. Set into the churchyard's wall is the ancient Whitwell, which names the village. Legend has it water from here was literally white. It was often mistaken for milk. Where Main Street and Tout Hill converge is the Manor House. This was formerly the residence of Digby Cayley, a Justice of the Peace. Historical records show Whitwell has had a manor house since at least 1670. It would have been the most important house here before Whitwell Hall was constructed. Over the road is a parish notice board. Let's get this lovely little place ticked off the Ryedale list. 4 down, 111 to go. That board can be found right next to a phone box which still possesses a working telephone. And speaking of phones, there's a BT exchange behind it too. The rest of Tout Hill tells us a bit about life here way back when. Among the stone cottages is an old forge, which must be home to a great topiarist, judging by its garden. On the other side is the old post office. Whitwell no longer has one, nor does it have any shop for that matter. Instead, all the old trades and businesses have disappeared, leaving behind just a collection of residences, some old and some much newer. It wasn't always this way. The construction of the A64 bypass would have had a bearing on it all. Once the main road, now the end of Tout Hill is a one-way street. Well, that might be a dead end for vehicles, but you can walk down to the A64 if you so desired, but I have no desire to do that. What I do want to do though is walk down this footpath here, which you can find just to the right at the end of this road, and this will take you back to the cricket pavilion, and that is basically Whitwell on the hill. What a lovely little village this is. Would certainly love to live in this one. And on the way out we can catch the school in the car. That's the building to the right here, which was erected in 1874. It could hold 65 children when full, but attendance only averaged 41. The one-way street means there's only one way out. Time to hit the A64 and make our way to the next one, here in Ryedale. Thanks for watching this video, folks. Don't forget to like this episode if you haven't already. It really makes a difference with YouTube. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this, and give us a share too if you've got friends who'd like it. You can find all the links to my social media accounts below, as well as my Buy Me a Coffee page where you can donate to the channel. Also, if you've enjoyed this episode, have a look at some more videos in this series. Until next time, I've been Andy, also known as the Village Idiot, and I'm out.